Hey YouTube land, TechHunters here doing another action figure review. Now this is for another one of the McFarlane DC multiverse figures. This I think was more of a 2020 release than a 2021 release, but I only picked them up recently. He's a bit of one of the older waves, but it is the DC multiverse Superman. Now you may be wondering why he looks a bit different. We'll get into that in a minute, but before I proceed, as always, I just need to say, to abide by FTC and COPPA rules, I need to say that these video reviews are intended for collectors over the age of 13 years old. And if you require permission to watch a video and you're under that age, please ask permission from a parent or guardian. So, before I proceed with the figure and his accessories, which there aren't too many, I'll go on about the box. So, let me just move the figure aside and bring the box in. So the box is a fairly standard affair, which we've come to know with the DC multiverse from McFarlane. So you have the blue background and behind the figure with kind of comics covers and stuff like that. DC multiverse, name of the character. You have this Unchained armor on the side of this one. Sorry if I'm knocking the camera. You have the McFarlane toy logo. The multiverse has 22 points of articulation. Flipping around to the back of the box, there's a collect 'em all with Superman, Batman, animated Batman, Superman, which is the DC Comics 1000, if I recall. Green Lantern, which is the animated Justice League series, I believe. The cancelled Harley Quinn figure. As far as I know, this figure did not see light of day. It was intended to be released when the was it Birds of Prey, the Emancipation of Harley Quinn film came out, but for whatever reason McFarlane has dropped it. I know a few other companies have gone ahead and done a figure based on this character, or this version of the character, and then there's the kind of comic version, classic Harley Quinn as well, in the Harley Quinn suit. So, and then the image is the same one you get on the actual collector card inside. And it says, comes with a collectible trading card, which obviously is the same image here. So that's it for the box. We'll move quickly on to the figure. So moving quickly on to the figure. Basically, he is the kind of standard 7-inch scale figure. I'll just bring in my tape measure. You can see he actually stands a little bit taller, around 7.5 inches, because of the way the armor suit is done. I'm not sure if you get to see the whole lot there, but he's closer to 7.5 than 7 inches. Articulation wise and sculpt. Just bring in the sculpt on him. Let me just see if I can get an extra bit of light on him while I do this. So there is some assembly required when you get him. These I'm assuming they're wings. I'm not quite sure what they are. They are loose in the package. They plug in via ball joint. The right one on mine is a little bit hard to plug in and stay in, but it rotates around, so you can have him with the wings up this way, which I think is the way he's supposed to be intended. But if you want them just out of the way, you can just rotate them down and just have them just fold out and out of the way like that. I kind of prefer to have them that way. It kind of looks a bit more natural than having them kind of rotated down and out like that at the back and having kind of pointed bits. But when they're in flight mode, I'm pretty sure this is the way he's supposed to have the wings. The collector card on the actual the collector card you don't really see the wings, and you get this kind of the suit design is kind of obscured by this lightning effect that's going around them. So there is that, but I'll get into that in a minute. So on to the figure. You have a sculpted S symbol, the House of Jor-El. Is that the right one? The house from where, or his family crest symbol, which is known as the Superman symbol on his chest. It is a sculpted separate piece and is glued in. He has quite a good bit of articulation. Now he does have a little bit less articulation than some of the other figures. In in the sense that he does not get the dual jointed elbows like some of the others. I think this is because it's one of the earlier figures. His head is on a ball joint. It's a really cool head sculpt. It does remind me a good bit of something from Gundam, or even Gridman or Ultraman, that kind of style. It looks kind of, it has a very Super Sentai kind of look to it, but it's really well detailed and ornate. And just around the back, you can see it's detailed in the back as well. Head is on a ball joint. You get some good range of movement on it. Arms are on a ball joint. It has those kind of things on the inside to simulate a butterfly joint. So you got in and out. Now the arms do get hindered a bit by this. You can rotate all the way around, but you have to spread out to the side just to get that full 360. But you can lift up that much. They don't go any higher, obviously, because these shoulder pads almost look like they're supposed to be the start of the cape, like on the classic Superman. But they're molded in a solid plastic. Again, single elbow joint. He does have an upper bicep swivel, which is a bit hard to showcase on this side. Maybe it might be easier in this one. It's quite tight, so just be careful. He does have the standard ball peg joints that the McFarlane figures are known for. So it's a ball joint on the wrist, so you just position the hand the way you want it and then rotate the wrist to match. He has a ab crunch in the lower waist. He also has an ab crunch on the upper waist, which is hindered by the armor, so you don't get much out of it. You do get some side to side. You get some side tilt as well. You get splits in the legs that much. So you have the kind of standard McFarlane joint, crotch joint on the bottom. Legs can kick forward quite a bit. They do splay out to the side when they're kind of kicking out. They don't go straight out because of the way the crotch pieces are designed, but it doesn't really hinder too much. You can actually get quite a high kick out of it. In fact, you could probably even get him to stand on his leg, I would imagine. Maybe not. He does have dual jointed knees, which is quite nice. He has rocker joint, similar joints actually as the wrists with the ball joint. It's just a little bit more hidden, and it is a bit more obscured by the boot cuffs. So you do get some side to side, but it's not much. You get the toe articulation, and you get a slight hip swivel, but not much. There is a slight hip swivel to the figure, but it's not the best. But generally, you want to be posing this guy and kind of, I think he wants to be, you'd probably want to do flight poses with this, but unfortunately he didn't come with a flight stand. Unlike the DC Comics 1000 Superman that McFarlane did, he doesn't come with a flight stand. So if I just move him back a bit, I will show the stand that he does come with, which is this one. Now this isn't the one from the packaging. I left it in there, but it's the exact same idea. A single foot peg, just a round base flat stand with the DC logo on it. It would be nicer if they did the DC logo in white, so it would stand out on the stands instead of being on black. It's like a glossy black on a matte black, and it's really hard to see in certain light. It is the same stand that the Mortal Kombat figures came with, and it's also, if I just bring it in and move some stuff around, it's also the same stand that the Warhammer 40,000 figures come with, and you can see they did the white logo on that, and it looks a lot better. You can actually see the logo on the 40k ones. So he does have 2 foot pegs, one on either foot, and he only has 1 foot peg on the stand. So you can get him to stand with that. Oh, and the other articulation points are on those wing pieces, which I've mentioned. You can kind of position them how you want. I think they're intended to be positioned up. You can't really see them there if I push them back, kind of like that. But as I said, if you want to display them on a display stand with everyone else, they're probably best off maybe folding them down out of the way so they don't get in the way of the other figures if you're putting them on a shelf with other figures. So there is that, or just remove them altogether. It's up to yourself. His hands are designed to have trigger fingers for some reason, even though he doesn't have any accessories to hold, or he doesn't have any weapons to hold. So there is that. And then he comes with his a collectible card. So if I flip around the card, so it's Source Superman Unchained #7, DC Comics 2014. The data file, Kal-El, Clark Kent, adopted name. Height 6'3", weight 235 pounds or 107 kg. And then when the weaponized alien called Wraith goes on a destructive rampage in the Batcave and both Batman and Wonder Woman are unable to stop him, Superman dons an armor that features a shield and battle axe to confront the electromagnetic adversary. Their battle continues to the center of the Earth, where Superman is finally able to defeat him, leaving him floating in the lava at the Earth's core. So it would have been nice if they included the shield and the battle axe accessory. Probably would have looked really cool with them. You can see it on the card, they look kind of gold from what I can see, but I think that's supposed to be reflecting the electromagnetic thing, because I think that's what the kind of arcs, golden arcs on the sky is. Overall, he does look really cool. I do recommend picking him up if you can, even if you're not a fan of Superman himself. It is a really cool looking design. You could probably modify this into other figures. I've seen someone trying to customize this into a steel figure, the kind of Superman inspired hero with the steel armor. And you could, if you wanted to, also kind of take off the S. It is a separate piece on the chest. You'd probably have to fill it in and stuff like that. You could probably customize it into some other sort of battle mech suit for another character or anything like that. So there is those options if you want to just get him to do customization. It'd be just finding an alternate head or leaving the head that's on it. So just for size comparisons, I'll bring in a few extra figures that I have. So here is one of the NECA aliens. In fact, it looks like a good version of a Superman suit that would go up toe to toe with some of the more kind of battle ready Predator figures. Here he is with the Flashpoint Batman from McFarlane himself as well. If I just get Flashpoint to stand, or Thomas Wayne to stand, so you see Batman does stand a little bit smaller than him. I have the NECA version of Ripley from the Kenner line. And I should have another Predator figure just to throw in to the fray, just to see what he looks like. So, as I was saying, if you want him to kind of go up against a more armored looking Predator figure, you could use one of the Dark Horse ones, and he kind of would look kind of in keeping with something that he might use against it. Other than that, it's a really cool figure, and I do recommend picking them up. I got this guy from Amazon, I believe. He wasn't too pricey at the time when I picked him up. At the time of this recording, he wasn't too pricey, but the longer they go, the more the increase in price they seem to go. So there you go. As I said, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I hope you enjoyed this quick video of the Superman Unchained armor. Cheers, guys.